Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to demonstrate Sense, which is basically just a way to trigger video from one of our interactive players using motion. Now this device is a little unique because it's basically an IR sensor, which is essentially a laser beam. So it's very directional. You can point this, from above, 45-degree angle, or directly in front of a display. The other nice thing about this is we can adjust the range. So you can set it as low as, say, 3 feet, where you can trigger video when somebody comes in front of it, or you could set it as far as 18 feet. There are other couple unique adjustments we can make to this, which allow you to wait a little bit before somebody comes up to it before it triggers, or also to make sure that once they leave, it doesn't trigger instantly. It stays on for a little while. And then lastly, we have the ability to play an exit video, meaning if they're in front of it for a few minutes and then they walk away, you can have a different video that plays and says, hey, before you leave, grab a brochure or something like that. So basically, I'm just going to go over the aspects of this, how to connect it. I'm going to use the VP92 in this demonstration. You can actually use any of our interactive players, but this one you can use in a couple different ways. We're going to demonstrate it playing from an SD or USB, and the concept I'm going to show you is essentially the same if you're going to use an FTP or the LAN. So the files that we're going to put in there and name them a certain way, you could do the same thing with an FTP or a LAN. Now with the 92, you can also use our cloud service, our free cloud service. It allows you to do the same concept, except it's a little different. You have to create a timeline and a campaign and have a module that sends everything up to the cloud. So that'll be a different instructional video. So here we have basically the control box that comes with the unit, and this is going to adjust all the different settings that I talked about a second ago. You can have an owner's manual here, which is everything we're going to talk about now. And inside, we have the main wire that's going to connect from the box to the sensor itself. So that just plugs in right here. Very simple. And now we have a couple other wires. So this wire is used for, let's say, a dry contact. What I mean by that is, say you wanted to use this solution without a media player. You have some other device that you want to basically trigger videos from. You can use this, power it with a standard 5-volt power supply, and then basically just have 2 wires. It's a switch. So every time it triggers, basically triggers those wires. So that's something else. We're not going to use that today. It comes with a mounting bracket. You can use your own. There's a hole up front here, so you can mount whatever you like, but it does come with a mounting bracket. So you can mount this, on the wall. You can put it in front of your television or something like that. And then this cable basically just plugs in the back here. You can see here, very simple. Okay, so we're just going to put this right here, and I'll move this around out of the way. All right, so now we have a pairing cable. Now this is what's used when we have multiple solutions connected to one player. With Wave and some of our other solutions, it makes a lot of sense. So you have 3 waves, you want this one to play this video, this play to this. With Sense, you're really going to play one video, and to have multiple units in the same area doesn't make sense, because over here it'll trigger this video, over here it'll trigger that video. The only time I've seen this application is where we had multiple senses as you're passing through with one television, and it would trigger those different videos as you walked by. So for those kind of applications or anything unique, you can just contact us and we can set it up for you and maybe do some custom programming. And then lastly, we just have the connect wire that's basically going to hook up from the sensor to the player itself. I already have one down here, so I don't need that one. So basically, all you're going to do is connect to one of these I/O ports. It doesn't matter which one, because they both will work the same, and the other one is just used to trigger another unit, which we're only going to do one in this demonstration. Now we also have the track to play. Now what this means is basically which track, and right now it's set to 001. So the content that I have in my SD, USB, FTP, or LAN is labeled 000 for our looping file, 001 for the video that we're going to trigger, 002 for the video that's going to be triggered if you stay in front of the device for a while, and 003 basically the ending video, which is typically the same as the first, and I'll go in a little more detail on that. Now on this other side, we have a couple settings. So this is the delay for when you get into the zone, meaning how long do you have to stay in the zone before it triggers the video. The other one is the delay out. So how long after you leave is it going to trigger the exit video or the original attract video. And then on the side here, we have the distance setting, which allows you to set this from 3 feet all the way up to 18 feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you one demonstration here. This can be used, like I said, any of our interactive players, cloud, it's not a problem. So this is something we actually did at a trade show. So we had this interactive Sense come over, talk to me. We had a speaker on top, getting people closer. And then as they got closer, basically it would just trigger the video. It says, hey, welcome, thanks for stopping by. Let me tell you all about this. And then when they leave, you can see it goes back to the main screen. So that's the general concept of how this works. So the other aspect to it, like I said, is as you get closer, you could trigger it. And now let's say we have the delay set a little higher, meaning they need to be in front of it for, say, 10 seconds before it triggers the other video. So now as I walk away, now it triggers an exit video. You'll notice she has her glasses on. So that could be something, like I said, like grab a brochure, make sure to scan this QR code so you can get a 20% off, something like that. So this is one example. You can use this in, let's say, a trade show. You have a retail. You can use it pretty much anything. Like say a home builder, somebody's coming by a kiosk, ask them to take a brochure. A lot of applications there. So the nice thing about these players is when you're using the SD or USB, you don't have to worry about changing anything on the player itself. All you're doing, just loading the new content. This is just another example, like let's say a perfume counter, in a retail store. Same thing, somebody walks up to it, triggers the video, learn more about it. You can have a kick on the audio at this point, because a lot of digital signage, unfortunately, if it does have audio and it's just constantly going on all day, sometimes the people that work in the stores turn it down because it's the same messaging over and over. So this way it allows you to just trigger it when somebody's actually standing in front of it. So that's another nice aspect of that. One more thing I wanted to mention about our players, there's 2 ways that you can set up the interactive mode. One is what we call interactive instant, which is what we're doing here. And that basically makes it so anytime there's a new trigger, we're going to interrupt the video and we're going to play the next video. So as we're doing this here, it instantly triggers. And once I go away, it's going to go back to the original. The other option is we have interactive delayed, which basically would put the player, force it to play the whole video. So you could have it where somebody walks in front of it, it triggers the video, and it's a 3-minute video, 4-minute video, whatever it is. No matter how much movement, no matter how much going in and out, it's going to play that whole movie in its entirety. And that is done on the settings of the player itself. So here we have, like I said, retail. Another application, a lot of museums. We're in a lot of museums. So you have like some kind of a display, learn how to use this display. Here, what can you learn with balls? And it kind of explains what they're going to see on that display right there. Another example in a museum, if you have an art piece, somebody walks in front of it, plays the video explaining the art piece and so on. There's just a lot of applications. And the one thing that's nice about all of our solutions, to be honest with you, is they come out of the box ready. So when you purchase this, we actually load it with sample videos where you can just plug it in just as I did to a TV, turn it on, and just start using it. And you can start making adjustments to kind of pair your solution. And then once you get it set, you're just going to replace the video files. So the files on there are 000, which is right here, 001, which is the video that's triggered once you get close to it. 002 is going to be the video that'll play if they've stayed in front of it a little while, an exit video. And video 003 is going to be basically the same as 000 unless you want to have something different. So again, you're just putting standard files on there, just naming them uniquely. And it's a very simple solution to set up, out of the box ready, and great for a number of industries. Thanks for watching.